All right, welcome back to my channel. My name's Katie with KBKC Yoga. And for today's practice, we're just gonna do a quick yin yoga refresh. This is a good practice for maybe a lunch break or right after work or school, maybe for first thing in the morning. Anytime that you need just a refreshing of the body and the mind. So you won't need any props for practice today. You don't even really need a yoga mat, just comfortable clothes and a space where you can lie down. So we're gonna start on our backs. So you just come onto your back and however feels comfortable for you. You can start with the feet flat, the knees bent, or if it feels better to take the legs long and extend them out to the corners of your mat if you've got one, or just taking up space. Work your body into the mat, wiggle the back of the head down, give yourself a chance to just lay down, to just rest. Maybe the palms are out at the sides, maybe the hands rest onto the low ribs or the belly. And if you haven't already, close down the eyes. We'll take a few conscious breaths here, maybe some cleansing breaths to arrive in the space of a little bit of you time to be with your body, letting everything else sort of wait. So if it feels good, taking big inhales through the nose and big exhales out the mouth. And with each exhale breath, just let your body get a little heavier to the floor. Releasing tension from your day. Giving yourself a moment to recharge. Good, and then we're going to start to become a little bit more present with the breath. So on your next inhale, I want you to count the in-breath. And on the exhale, see if you can't extend that count by just one, slowing the breath down. Inhaling to that same count, the original count. And maybe see if you can't extend the exhale by two. Continuing this pattern, with each exhale breath, extending the breath one beat longer until it becomes uncomfortable, and then you can reel back to find the perfect extended exhale for you today. The breath is the language of the nervous system. And so by breathing slowly like this, we're telling the nervous system to shift gears out of that fight, flight, action mode into rest, restore, and digest. So let's take just 3 more cycles of breathing like this. Nice, long, slow, extended exhales. Really refreshing the body with each inhale breath. Good. And then when you're ready, you can release the breath. Let's take both legs forward and together. Both arms up and overhead. Take a big full body stretch. And then on your exhale, walk your feet to the right and then walk your hands to the right, keeping the chest and the hips facing upward towards your ceiling. Maybe you can cross at the ankles if that feels good. Maybe you use the right hand to pull at the left wrist. Just getting this nice big long stretch through the left side body here. If it's too much for the shoulders, you could cactus the arms, still leaning to that right side, but just taking a little bit of pressure out of the shoulder joint. So just a few big breaths into the left ribs, the left hip, all the way down to the left ankle and toes. And then on your next in breath, you're going to walk everything back through center. Take another big good morning stretch. Let the low back lift off the mat, point the toes. And then walk your feet to the left and slide your hands now to that left side. So again, maybe you cross at the ankles. Maybe the left hand grabs the right wrist. Maybe it's a gentler version of this big side stretch. We're just looking for a nice juicy stretch along the right side body here. Taking just a couple more breaths into the right side body. Relax the left side. Good, and then on your next in breath, come back through center. Take that big full body stretch again. And then exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Grab the shins and then massage the low back on the floor, compressing the hip crease. Just taking a nice gentle rock side to side here. I'm going to take a nice simple twist on the back. So keeping the left knee in, let's extend the right leg long and forward, both hands to the left knee. And then pull the left knee into the chest, getting that nice big compression for that left hip crease. Good, let's roll out the left ankle, relax through the right leg. And then opposite direction, circles with that ankle. Good, and then you're going to keep your right hand on the knee and open the left arm up to a cactus shape. Take a breath in, and on an exhale, pull the left knee across the body into the right, maybe gaze to the left side. So that the right hand might slide to the outer edge of the knee, deepening the twist. If that's too much, you could just let the legs sort of hang in space and open up the right arm into a cactus shape as well. So just letting the body relax into this deep twist. Anytime the mind wanders, you can bring it back to that extended exhale breathing. Just giving the mind something to do by counting each breath. Good, we'll take one more big deep inhale in the twist. On the exhale, unwind, come back to the back. Bring the right foot flat to the mat and cross the left ankle to the top of the right knee. And then you can just use the left hand to press that left thigh forward, lightly flexing through the left foot. You feel that sensation in the outer left hip. You're welcome to stay here, or if you're seeking more sensation, you could lift this shape up and into the belly, sliding the left hand through that hole you've created and interlacing the fingers to the back of the right thigh. Now check that the head and shoulders haven't lifted, that you're not so compressed here that you can't breathe. Roll the shoulders back and down, relax the head, and broaden across the collarbones. Relaxing both feet. Relaxing the tissues across the face, the forehead, around the eyes and the jaw. Take just about a minute here in this finger four on the back. Notice anywhere you might be clenching or fighting the posture. Maybe your tongue is pressed hard against the back of the teeth, the roof of the mouth. Invite a little bit more softness into your body. Just drinking in the inhales, letting go of the exhales. And then we'll take one last big, deep inhale breath. Good. From here, if the feet aren't picked up off of the ground, pick them up, and we're going to kick the right leg to the sky. And then walk your hands up to the right calf. Maybe you can grab a towel or a blanket or a strap of some sort around the foot. But if you don't have any props today, you can just lift your shoulders up, grab the back of the right leg, and then just lean back. And maybe the shoulders are kind of collapsed in towards one another. We're just going to take a couple breaths here to stretch the back of that leg. So maybe a little movement feels good. Maybe you can rock a little side to side. We'll take just a couple more breaths here. Good. One more big inhale. And then release the hands, release the right foot, release the left leg, and let's just take big pedals with that left leg in the air. Working out that left hip crease, maybe some cracks and pops in the left hip. Good, and then we're going to bring both knees back into the belly, give them a squeeze again, and then extend the left leg long down the mat, release the heel. So with both hands to the right knee, really compress the thigh into the belly, and then roll out the right ankle one way, and then the other. Good. Relax the foot. Left hand stays to the knee, right arm cactuses. So palm and bicep up towards the ceiling. Take a breath. And then use the exhale and the left hand to bring the right knee across the body to the left side. At the same time, turning your gaze over to face the right. So the goal here is to keep the back of the right shoulder really rooted and to just relax through the glutes and the hips. Again, the left hand can act as a weight on the outer edge of the right thigh, or you could just open the arms and let gravity do the work here of pulling you into this twist. Maybe you take some sort of prop under this right leg. Taking just 3 more breaths here in your twist. And if you've got something cranky going on with the neck and it hurts at all to look to the right, just keep the head neutral. Keep the gaze soft or eyes closed. And take one last in-breath when you're ready. And then on the exhale, roll back to the back. And as you do, bring that left foot to the mat to come into that figure 4 shape, right ankle cross to the top of the left thigh. You can use your right hand to just press the right thigh forward. Just feel that in the outer hip. And you can stay here for the entirety of the posture, especially if this is really intense. Or you could lift the left knee, sliding the right hand through that hole, and then interlacing the fingers to the back of the left thigh. If you had to lift the head and shoulders up, no worries. Just roll back and down as best you can. Good. Relaxing the shoulders back, softening through the face. Breathing at the edge of that resistance in the outer right hip. So rather than pushing against that resistance, as if that resistance were a wall that you were trying to move, I want you to imagine leaning back into that resistance like a hammock, just sinking in, trusting that wherever your body has stopped, it is protecting you from injury. And that wherever the edge of that sensation is, it's the perfect place. There's nothing wrong with your body if flexibility is not on your side today. Giving yourself compassion and grace. And in this shape, just a few more deep breaths. Let's take one more breath like this. And then if the left foot's on the ground, pick it up to bring the shape into the belly. And then you're going to kick the left leg to the sky and reach up, walking your hands up to that left calf, ankle, or foot. Maybe you have a towel or a strap. You could loop around the foot. And then we're just going to lean back, stretching the back of that hamstring. You can crawl your hands up as far as feels good. And then pointed toes or flexed toes, totally up to you here. I like just a neutral foot. And if you don't have any props, this might be a lot for the arms. So we're just going to take another breath or so here. Good. And then we're going to release the left foot all the way back to the mat. And then take those big bike pedals with the right leg in the air. Good. From here, we'll bring the feet flat and then just roll over onto one side. And then peel yourself up. We'll come to tabletop, so hands and knees. So stacking your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. And let's tuck the toes here. Especially nice if you work a job where you're on your feet a lot. Good. So you can just pad the ground, kind of like a cat would pad. Same with the toes here. Maybe you lift the knees to get the toes tucked on one side and then the other. And then sit back to the heels and just check that the little toes are tucked as well. I'm going to take some cat-cows here. So on an inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, look forward. On the exhale, I want you to round the spine, tucking chin to chest, and then send the hips back to the heels for a nice big foot stretch. Good. Inhaling, scoop forward, drop the belly low, lift the heart up, look up. Exhale, round the spine, send the hips back to the heels, big toe stretch. Let's take a few more like that. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Good. Inhale forward, lift. Exhale back. Good. One more. Inhale, roll forward, look up. Exhaling back. Pausing here, breathing into the arches of the feet, the toes. You can stay here on the hands, pressing the floor away, finding an edge that doesn't feel like torture in the feet. For more sensation, if you've got really flexible feet, you'll walk your hands closer in, maybe even all the way up to the thighs. For less sensation, if the feet are really tender, you're dealing with plantar fasciitis, bunions, arthritis in the toes, come down onto the forearms, maybe even bringing the head down to the mat. So just a couple breaths here into the soles of the feet, all the fascia that connects through the legs, up the back, all the way to the crown of the head starts here. Good, and then we're going to take just another big inhale. And on your exhale, you're going to walk your hands back towards your knees, if they're not already there. And we're going to lift the knees, lift the hips, and then walk the hands back, bending at the knees for a big forward fold here. So take your feet as wide as feels good. Bend the knees a lot. Drape the belly over the thighs and just hang. You can have the fingertips on the floor for support, maybe on some sort of prop. And if it feels good, you might take opposite elbows. You could give the head a good shake. Yes. And then no. And hanging upside down is one of the quickest ways to refresh your energy. Apologies if the mic is a little wonky today. So just allow that feeling of draining as you hang here. It might feel nice to give yourself a little massage for the backs of the calves, the hamstrings, the ankles, the little tiny bones on the top of the feet. And you could bring the hands to the low back with fists and pound out at the low back. You could take opposite elbows, as I mentioned, or you could interlace the fingers to the back of the head, letting the elbows just drag you down a little bit more. Try not to force it. Just enjoy this sensation. If it's too much to be hanging all the way upside down, forearms could come to thighs for support, or maybe a chair or a stool. Take just a couple more breaths like this. And one last inhale, wherever you are. On the exhale, walk the hands forward, lower all the way back to the knees, and then take the knees nice and wide, bring the big toes together behind you, and sit your hips back to your heels. Walk the hands forward, bringing the forehead down. You could take the arms out straight, or you could create a pillow for the forehead with the forearms. Good. From your child's pose, you're going to lift yourself up a little, look forward, and then slide your right arm under the left, coming onto the outer edge of the shoulder, and the right temple comes down to the mat. Now the left hand can stay just here by the face. You could take it forward or out at a 45-degree angle. Option if you're feeling pretty flexible today to wrap that left arm around the back to the right hip crease and just sink your weight down into the right, to the floor. Breathing here. Let's take one more big deep inhale. And then start to unwind back through center. And just switch sides. Nothing fancy. You're going to slide your left arm under the body to the right. Bringing your left temple to the floor. And whatever feels good with the right arm. They're not symmetrical creatures, so if you need something different on the second side, give yourself permission to make a slightly different shape. Good. One more breath. And then exhale, unwind. Press into the palms to lift yourself up. And as you lift yourself up, we'll bring the knees together and sit the hips back onto the heels here. And we're just going to roll the shoulders back, interlace the fingers behind the back, lift the chest and the heart space. Good. And then you're going to bring that fist to your left side waist. Just tuck it in and then drop your right ear to the right. Good. Let's take another big breath here, stretching that shoulder. Big inhale. And then back through center and drop it to the opposite side. More intense. Good. You could explore a little upward and downward movement with the head and neck here. Let's take one more breath. And then bring the head to neutral. Release the arms. Give them a shake. If you need to come off the feet for a second, you can. If you'd like to bring the hands down and tap out the tops of the feet, now's a good time. I'm not going to hit the floor too hard. Downstairs neighbors. Good, and then we'll come back to sit again. And same thing, roll the shoulders up, back and down, interlace the fingers, pull the hands down, lift the heart space. And then this time we're going to take the hands to the right hip. Good, and then take your left ear towards your left shoulder. Good. Breathing here. And taking a couple more breaths. And then back through center and take it to the opposite side. Good. Feel that stretch now. Maybe rocking the chin up and down a little. So you feel that nice big pull across the shoulder, the upper back, and the neck. Good. Bring the head back to neutral. Release the arms. Give them a shake. And then we're going to come up to kneeling. Cross the ankles behind you. And then just roll over your shins and come to an easy seat. You can sit just on the floor, maybe on a cushion if you've got one. Maybe you sit leaning back against a wall for support. We're just going to close our practice out with a couple rounds of cleansing breathing. Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breath. So for alternate nostril breath, we'll take our right hand to the face, rest the first and second finger at the third eye, ring finger comes to the left nostril and thumb comes to the right. Close your eyes, plug your left nostril, breathe in through the right side up to the third eye. And then closing your right nostril, pause, and then open the left side, breathe out through the left. Good, in through the left. Up to the third eye, and then out through the right. Repeat like this, side to side. Clearing the mental pathways, any blockages that might be imbalancing your thoughts, your energy. Taking this last cycle, left to right. And then releasing the left or the right hand to the left. Bringing the palms together in front of the heart center. Taking a moment of quiet to notice how you feel. Taking one last big deep inhale. A big open mouth sigh. Releasing the hands. Blinking open your eyes. And welcoming yourself back into the rest of your day. Thank you so much for practicing me. I hope you feel refreshed. If you'd like to practice together more, you can head to my website, kbkcyoga.com. You can find me on Instagram at kbkcyoga. Let's stay connected. Much love and namaste.